All right, welcome into StudyBall. Sorry I'm a little bit late this week. Just coming back from Germany after a great trip over there for the first NFL regular season game in Munich in Germany. It was an awesome time, so forgive me for being a little bit late this week. Also got my salute to service shirt on, so a salute to all of those servicemen and women out there that have and continue to serve our country. We appreciate each and every one of you. They are the true America's team, so it just seems fitting that today I'm going to talk about America's football team and the Dallas Cowboys. And obviously a lot of high hopes for them, the way they've been playing the last few weeks, and then a bit of a stinker to some degree against Green Bay, a team that had been struggling. And so we're going to take a look at their past game today, take a look at some of the struggles with Dak Prescott in this game. And one thing that I noticed, it looked like he was very tentative throwing the football. I don't know if that hand, that thumb injury was affecting him in the weather in Green Bay, but really looked like he was aiming the football and missing some throws that he would normally make, or not having quite the velocity that he normally does. Now, I don't know if that's true at all. I don't know if that has anything to do with his hand whatsoever, but it just appeared like that was the case. A couple throws I saw him really tentative in terms of finishing the throw as there were bodies around him trying to protect that hand, which again is typical. I understand it, but it's something that can definitely affect your ability to be accurate with the football. So let's take a look at the tape. All right, so let's take a look early here. Okay, so here's one, right off the bat. We've got a little choice route right here by Pollard, and they just missed this. And so this could be a little bit twofold. I want you to watch Tony Pollard as he comes out here and he goes to break. He sees that he's wide open and he may slow this down just a touch. So you see right there, he kind of backs off a little bit of his pace. Right as Dak's getting set to throw, slows down just a little bit. Could that have been the reason for this incompletion? Maybe. But somehow, some way, we've got to make it. I mean, this is just wide open by everybody's standards. And so this was a little bit of what I saw early on from Dak Prescott. Here's another one that we're going to run a play here, clear out, run the corner, run the flat right here, and then we're going to work across with a shallow route right here. So hoping to clear out on the outside, and we're looking to kind of work this flat defender 1 to 2 and then to 3 coming across here. So again, we're coming back. All right, we get this guy to turn. He's out of there. Get this guy to go to the flat. So we're looking at this corner right here. So Dak looks like he's ready to throw it. And then there's a little bit of contact there, which I understand. So you can take an extra hitch and try to drive this, or you can get down to your shallow route right here. All right, and then as he comes out, just the hesitation, And then here's the thing that kind of got me when I was watching it, is that I thought for sure this ball had to be tipped because of where it went. So we'll watch it again from the back. And, okay, so he's uncomfortable, and then look where this ball goes. Like, this ball, I'm not really sure. This ball ends up going right here, just outside the number, so doesn't look like it's got any chance to be completed to the shallow. That's not, I don't know if this was maybe just a throwaway or just a miss or what happened there, but these were the kind of things that were going on early in this game. Here's another one. So we're going to run a play that I like to call pinch. Okay, so it's a big in out here, and then it's a choice route here by his guy CD Lamb. So I'm not sure if CD can go to the backside or if everything stays out the front side, so you ultimately get a high-low here or not. I'm not sure. But as you come out to read this, okay, the idea should be, as a quarterback, if I get the right look off to the right-hand side, that I want to read number 26 right here. Okay, so I want to throw this big in, and if 26 gets depth, then I reset and I find my choice route and I get set to be able to make this throw to him. So my eyes should be there on that hook. Okay, this guy's got all this depth. Great. I know that I am right here on CeeDee Lamb right now, and he's working back to the outside. Should be another easy completion right here. You see it. He's coming out, and we've got all kinds of space right here. So getting to the right guy, and just another missed opportunity early. And again, I went back and looking at some of these throws, I'm like, gosh, they had to be tipped, right? There's no other way that he misses these kind of throws. And you guys can watch with me. I'm watching, and I just don't see, I mean, there's no flight of the football change. And there is a guy in his face, of course, yes, but just another badly missed throw early in this game for Dak Prescott. All right, details, okay, little details. So we're down here in the red zone, and we're going to run a play that a lot of teams like to run. We used to call it wheel, so it was a skinny post, a wheel, and then CeeDee Lamb's going to finish off here on the swing. So as a quarterback, what I'm seeing is I'm going, do we have a middle close look? So what do I have? A safety in the middle of the field. If I have a safety in the middle of the field, I am thinking this is my number one option. No safety. If this safety's over here and he's in that window, then obviously I'm Xing that off and I'm looking at wheel to swing. But if I get that middle closed, I am thinking that skinny post right now, right out of his break, hit that back foot, let that thing go. If this corner squeezes, then I'm thinking high-low between my wheel and my swing. But I want you to watch footwork here. As a quarterback, you're down inside the 15-yard line. Footwork's got to be a 5-step drop. So you see, Dak comes out, right? There's the throw right there. Let it go. Here's the window. You've got a huge window right here. He's crossing his face. Put your foot in the ground. That ball should already be gone if you're thinking about this at all. And again, got to be thinking about this. Down in the red zone, got to be aggressive. Stick that foot in the ground. Let that thing go. You've got an option. But more importantly, you got to look at it. Like, Dak's not even set because he takes 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. He takes 7, and he's ready to take a hitch there. You got no chance. From the 15 to hit a skinny post with 7 and a hitch. Come back. It's got to be a 5-step drop. Number 5, hit your foot. Let that thing go if you like it, and then get to your read, okay? So it gets to his read. We get a carry over there. Gets down to his check down. No problem. I can live with the end read part of it, but I want to see him understand big picture and be ready for these opportunities down there because they don't come very often, and you got to be ready to sling it and be aggressive. Okay, here's another one. Okay, so we've got a 4-strong look. So again, it's about being ready. It's about, anticipating what might happen down here. So we've got a 4-strong look to this side. Okay, so this particular concept, I'm not sure exactly what they're doing, trying to get a shallow here. He's going there. I'm not sure what this guy's doing. And then we got CeeDee out of the backfield running a flat. Okay, so I'm guessing it's flat, something up over the top of it, and then to the backside shallow. All right, but here's what I always got a plan. Down here, red zone, if I have pressure, okay? So pressure in this case is anybody outside this mix. This guy comes, I got to get this ball out. So again here, I just feel like Dak's late, okay? I want you to see it, and I want that ball out right now to CeeDee, okay? Now CeeDee's not even looking, which CeeDee needs to be looking because I want the ball to him right here. I want to get the ball to him as fast as I can so he gets a chance to turn up before these guys can break on him. The further out we go, the longer we have to throw the ball. You see it, right? Longer we have to throw it, these guys are coming. If Dak puts this out in front, we're probably lost here. CeeDee's getting lit up. Maybe the ball's being knocked out. So at least a bad throw here back behind him saves him, and he's able to turn and make it into the end zone. But be ready, Dak, be ready. As you come off of this, you've got to be ready to see that and get the ball out sooner. Sooner. Should have been a loss right here or a no gain. Nice job by CeeDee to make the adjustment and get in the end zone. Okay, here's the interception. Okay, down in the red zone. Now, I don't really know what we're trying to do here. So what this looks like, and I'm just going off of what everybody else is doing, okay? Everybody else is running go routes here. All right, so normally what you like to do in that situation is you want your guy on the other side, the influence guy, to do the same thing. You would want him to run a go route. You want him to run a go route right here, and then CD is going to come off of him and run an in route. Now, it looks like in this particular case, okay, they're telling this guy, which I completely understand, is that you got to beat this safety. Okay, so instead of going wide as you might on a normal go route, if we got middle close, you get a safety over your head, you got to go down inside. And I'm guessing he's supposed to cross his face right here, clear that guy out, and we can read that to the in over the top. So receiver right there, Dalton Schultz gets jammed right there. That's the key to this play right here. Gets jammed, and now as he gets jammed outside, he never is able to get leverage back across this safety again. And not a lot of options because everybody's running deep on this particular play. Not a lot of options to hit it late, but that is the key on this particular play. So again, if I'm teaching this play and I understand what they're trying to do, my goal on this play would be to get inside this guy. So I don't know if you switch the responsibilities of these two guys or what, but my goal is to get across this guy and then push up and then run my route. Why do I say that? It's twofold. So maybe it's CD that has to do that. Get inside and get up here and beat the safety, okay? But the idea is twofold. Is A, I'm going to try to influence this guy because whoever runs the in, the guy that's going to take it away is that linebacker. So that's one thing I want to do is I want to influence that guy to the inside to open up that window for the in. Second thing I want to do is I got to get leverage on the safety. Okay, I cannot let this happen down here. I've got to get somebody that gets leverage on that safety. So as a quarterback, we've got a go route backside. So now I can come out and I can look at this guy. And as long as this guy does what I expect him to do to go cover that, that seam route or go route, inside go route on the backside, I'm golden because now I come here and if we get inside of him here, boom, it's a touchdown right there. If that guy chases me, now I'm coming off of this and I believe he's going to have, this inside guy is going to have enough influence on that safety to get him to force some depth. I've already influenced this linebacker by forcing the inside release and getting him to chase. So now I've got leverage. Now I can cross that safety's face, and now I'm feeling really good about this play. But if I get pushed outside, it mucks up everything we have going here, plus it doesn't take out this safety that we have to take out. It doesn't win to this hole, which is the hole that we want to throw to right here. And now Dak Prescott is in a bad spot because you see it. They're both running the exact same. They're on top of each other right here. So we know that's not how it's supposed to be designed. What I said was what they were trying to do. Dalton's trying to get inside, not necessarily inside this guy, but he's trying to seem to get that leverage on the safety to clear that out. But this to me is the problem, is you've got to try to do it in such a way that this guy forces himself down the middle of the field because that's what puts all the pressure on this defense. It puts pressure on this guy and it puts pressure on this guy that if I get inside of them early and I force movement early, that's what opens it up down here in the red zone. They don't do that. And now Dak's trying to jam it in. And again, Dak's got to be smart with the football. I understand. He's trying to trust his guys. We're going to try to get a peek of this from the end zone copy. But, okay, this is what I see right here. Dak's going to throw it. I don't even see their guy in the picture, and I see the defender. Yes, you'll see as he goes to throw this, okay? He's expecting his guy. He's expecting his guy to cross face right there, which is exactly what we always have to expect, is you got to get across that safety's face. So I'm trusting you to do that. But it's a tough thing to do to trust him to do that down here when you look at the initial route. And so that's what I'm coming out and looking at right off the bat. Okay, I want to see what kind of leverage we get. So I might peek the safety to make sure he holds weak. Then I want to get back and find out what happened here and make sure that that guy gets inside. See that, peek over there, get back. Now once I see this, that he gets pushed outside, I got to be very leery of trying to jam this throw in there and believing he's going to cross face right there. Big turnover in this game. All right, a lot of time on the little details. Okay, so here's another interception right here. Okay, so again, I don't really know. This is a coverage that I like to call kind of a high 2 coverage. So they're going to go back to cover 2 over here. This safety is going to try to get back over there, and they've got a guy already sitting in the middle of the field. So anytime we got a guy in the middle of the field, I'm not a big fan of trying to hit these in routes when a guy's already sitting there, especially if he's not playing a deep third. He's playing this too high. So what I like to do in these situations is we've got go, go, go. All right, so I'm going to come back. And really, I don't really like this middle one anyways because that guy's there. I'm going to peek this safety, okay? I'm going to peek that safety right there. Get that out of there. I'm going to peek that safety, and I'm going to try to get him to turn and influence to the inside so I can take this outside shot. That's really the only one that I'm thinking about in this situation. Is normally, if this guy wasn't here, we would get a 2-on-1. We'd get a 2-on-1 off of the safety. But they've added an extra guy to the mix. So they've added an extra guy to the mix, so I don't really like the inside one. So I'm going to try to influence him inside to get the outside go. If I don't have it, I'm going to find one of my checkdowns right here. But you see, the guy's just sitting there. And again, I get it. Dak is hoping and expecting his guy to cross the face of this guy that's sitting here. Okay, he's expecting that to happen and letting it go. Look at this safety. Safety's 3 or 4 yards inside the numbers. He's turned back to the inside. There's the throw to the outside. Instead, we're just jamming it into a situation where, again, my guy's got to go over the top of this linebacker, and you're expecting him to be able to turn that corner and beat the guy that's sitting in the middle. Easy interception right there, and just tough ass for Dak Prescott. And I know it's 3rd and long. See it down here. It's 3rd and long. We're trying to jam something in to get the big play. Quarterbacks, play the play. Play the play, right? Teams are smart enough to know it's 3rd and long. We're not going to give you the long throw. We're going to make you force it. We're going to lead you into mistakes. I get it. So you got to play the play. If this is the play that's called in the huddle, you got to play the play. Everybody's deep. There's no option down the middle of the field. Drop it to your check down and let one of those guys try to make it for you. Okay, so here again, we've got this play, which is a go, post, corner, and flat. Okay, so as we come out to read this side, reading that flat defender. Okay, read that flat defender. We got to read him 2 ways. We have to read him by depth. Okay, so we have to see how deep he is right off the bat from the line of scrimmage. Okay, about 10 yards deep already. So we've got a flat coming underneath. So we want to force him to cover width and depth. So if he stays at that depth, no matter where he goes to cover, I've got to throw this, okay? If he cuts down that depth and starts to chase down to the flat, that's now where I get the corner throw up over the top. So I'm reading that guy, okay, right there. Okay, I'm reading that guy. We're going to freeze it right there. Now, not only is he at depth, but look at his hips. His hips have turned back into the line of scrimmage. So A, he can't cover this anymore because his hips are back there, but he's turned his hips to try to be able to make this play back to the inside. So I want to see Dak clean with his reads, okay? Right there, okay? Too much space right here, too much depth by our safety that's dropping down, and they jam it in here, and a great catch by Schultz. and they complete this for 13 yards. But this is where you get into problems again, is seeing the things that you need to see, right? Circle this. It's first down. It's first down. Understand the situation. First down. Safety's already deep. Take what the defense gives you. Don't try to jam it in all the time. And yes, this is what makes this offense different. The ability for Dak to make some of these tough throws. But you've got to be smart with these throws and make the right decision more times than not. Not always try to jam it in. Okay, so here we're running a play that we call 72. Okay, so it's a 7 over the top and an underneath it. Okay, then we're going to run a seam, a curl, and a swing. Okay, so this is a staple play that the Cowboys have been running for a couple years. And so to me, this concept over here is only a man concept. Okay, so look, we've got a corner sitting back there waiting for the corner route. We've got a linebacker in here waiting for the under route. We have no concept here that attacks one defender. We've got guys going to different directions. So to me, this is only a man play. We got 2 runaways against man. If you get zone, I don't like it over here. Now, what happens is sometimes this guy comes up and he chases the underneath route and he gives you the corner over the top in cover 2. A lot of teams hit it. I still don't like reading it over there because if they play it right, you're in bad straits as a quarterback. So you're hoping they screw it up. Hate running plays and reading plays that you're hoping they screw up. Yet, on this particular play, we've got exactly what we want front side. That we're going to clear this out, but we're going to have a curl flat against one defender over there every single time. So I get zone, especially with the corner off to this side because the curl flat isn't great against cover 2. But I get the corner off there. I get middle of the field closed. I should be over on the curl flat side every single time. For some reason, he comes over here. What happens? Oh, this guy's sitting here waiting for the under. Oh, this guy's sitting here waiting for the corner. Could have told you that was going to happen before the snap. Why are we even looking over here? We get a carry here. We only have one defender underneath to the other side. And look what you have, right? Look at this. It doesn't get any more open than that right there. Huge throw back to that side. If we get there right off the bat, instead we have to dump down to the flat because we're late to it and it gets tackled and we get absolutely nothing. And it all because of where our eyes start at the beginning. And there's just, again, it's man-to-man over there. If not, get back to the other side. I don't really understand why so many teams run that 72 and read it against zone. Never liked it against zone, but nonetheless, teams do it. And to me, man only, get away from it if you get a zone. All right, so here, now, again, these are the things that make Dak Prescott different, okay? I think your arguments about Cooper Rush, I know he played well, but not every quarterback has the ability to make these chunk throws down the field, okay? So it looks as if we're going to get like a quarters coverage back here, but Dak does a great job because we've got our 1, 2, 3 wide receivers over here reading this safety who turns and opens or closes. See how he comes over? He starts bouncing over to the 3 receiver side. Great job by Dak to see him hold his eyes and hit this backside skinny post. Boom. Love it. Love it. These are the kind of throws. I see it, use my eyes, get back, drive the throw. We're set up inside the 10-yard line once again. Okay, so we're going to come back here. We're going to run a corner route right here. We're going to run a shallow route, and we're going to get our back out right here. Oh, sorry, our back's going to sneak this direction right here. So Dak does a good job on this play. Really like it, understanding, okay, I'm going to peek back here at my corner, expect the corner to go cover him. Now it puts an isolation on this guy right here. With the back release in there, if I can get him to hold it all, I'm going to run this shallow back behind him. If he falls off, boom, I can replace right there to my back on that side. Okay, so he does a nice job. Eyes over there. Okay, sees him fall back. Read this linebacker right here who comes up to match to the back. Boom, we run right past him. Nice throw up over the top for the touchdown with the guy in his face. Like it. Good job right there. Okay, so again, Dak Prescott does a lot of good things. Okay, this wasn't one of his better games, but I still want him to be I want him to continue to advance with where his eyes need to be, what he's looking at, what the possibilities are on different plays, and making better decisions at times instead of just jamming the ball down the field and trying to make all the big plays. Okay? So here we've got a play that I call return over here. So we're going to run a corner route and we're going to run a return. So if you notice, it's very similar to that 72 concept that I was talking about. This can be a little bit better because it has a better chance of grabbing the corner with the return over here. But you still should have somebody waiting inside on most zone coverages to have the corner fall back into the corner and then somebody underneath for the return. So let's just watch that side of it. Okay, so we go there and you see it. This guy's back here sitting, for this. Now, maybe you say we can try to high-low this guy right here, but a good corner is going to do that. He's going to carry with the return. Then he's going to fall back to the corner route. This guy is sitting there, even though there's enough space right here that I think he can hit this underneath one, which he does right here. Again, I want him to hit it sooner, okay? Sooner. See this corner sloughs off at all. Hit it right now if you're going to go to that side. Again, I think this is more of a man side than a zone side. And I say that because on the other side, I've got an in, a shallow, and a swing there. So what that tells me is these guys, once again, are going to different zones. So it's tough. We're not isolating one defender on that side, so they can cover it. They can cover it in a number of different ways. We get man, it's great. Got to run away going both directions, okay? We get this in and shallow, and I'm isolating one defender, okay? Isolating him even more if we're going to check this and go to the swing, but I'm going to get a high-low read back to this side. So I would love for Dak to just go back to that side, and you see it right there. Easy isolation right here. I don't have to worry about, does this guy clamp and then fall away? Does this guy stay down and take away my other things so I have nothing over there? I know right there I'm in a great isolated position on the backside, and there it is, right? Here's the big window because this defender comes up on the shallow, and I'm in good shape right there. So again, I don't know what they're telling him. I don't know what look it is. Again, they could be saying cover two. We expect when we go out here, this corner to clamp on that out, and you're going to get this corner over the top. But all I'm saying is that you're just hoping that that happens. This guy has the ability to fall back and cover this, especially with this guy going back to the inside and feeding him to the next linebacker. So they actually play this pretty well right here, and kind of how I expect them to play it against cover two, other than the fact that this defender is really deep, so it gives you that quick throw underneath, but that's the only reason. If this guy's a little shallower right here, now we're in a real bind because we can't throw the corner because he's clamped by these two guys, and we got a linebacker to the inside. I'd rather him just work the other side and know he's got an isolation and a high-low, and we're in better shape. Okay, again, big time throws. All right, so they're running a concept here, boom, and he's going to run a pivot back to the outside, running a go, and then we're running the over the top of it. We're going to read this defender right here. They're in man-to-man coverage, but we're going to read that defender. He comes down on the pivot. We're going to go up over the top on the over, and you see it right there. Nice job. Big time throw, right? Tight coverage. Everything's good by the Packers right there, but this is just a better throw than it is coverage. Drops it right on CeeDee Lamb. Difference-making throws. We're going to need these. We're going to need these from number 4 if we're going to advance, if we're the Dallas Cowboys. But we've got to have it more consistently in terms of decision-making and getting the ball to the right guy to go along with those big-time throws. okay? All right, so this is what every team does here, okay? We go 4 strong. So 1, 2, 3, 4. We've got 4 guys over there to that side. What we're trying to do is get the whole defense to push over to the other side and give ourselves a one-on-one back here. All right, so you're going to see they're going to run a slant back here by Michael Gallup, and Dak looks to the left-hand side. This is what coaches teach. They coach, if we're going to go 4 strong, I want you to peek at the backside guy no matter what, and then work your progression across here. Progression going to be this. I think we got a corner route there by CD. So that's going to be the progression. So we're going to go 1 to 2 to 3 to 4 really, and this is just a happening if you happen to see it. All right? I'm a guy that doesn't like that. I don't like saying, just look over here no matter what, because this guy's here. Like, I'm not throwing a slant over here. I'm never throwing a slant over there. There's no chance of that happening. Why do I need to look over there? And the reason I say that is because they're going to have this guy going deep, but we basically only have 1, 2 defenders to that side. And I'm going to have 3 guys in the underneath zone over here. So for me, I'm saying if I don't have any chance to throw that slant, then let me go front side right now, okay? Okay, so visualize it. If this guy's not here, then I can come out and peek this slant because I feel pretty good, and I force this guy to go cover it. And once he covers it, now I know once again I'll have the advantage to the front side. But here, I don't have that advantage. This guy's in the way, so this guy is a guy I'm worried about. If this guy pushes too far strong, he can take away our numbers. So I'd rather just go front side right here. So Dak looks left and then has to work back to the right, and now he's jamming it in right here as he's working back to the right instead of being able to read this out. Because if we were reading this out, I would read this outside in. I would read this to this and then back in here to Schultz. So as you come out here, you're going to see it. This is my defender right here, okay? He's got to come down and cover to the outside. Boom, there you go. Which one you want? If you read over to that side, you could hit your swing right there and he's got space. This guy's gotten a little bit outside of the outside receiver, could hit that hook right there, and now the ball's out and we're not trying to jam it in here with 2 guys closing in on him. And yeah, it probably should have been caught, but again, you see all kinds of bodies there because we peeked to the backside first. So something for coaches and quarterbacks just to think about. Do I always have to look back here? If I know it's a done deal and it's dead because I got a guy in that spot, can I just read out to the front side because I know they basically have 3 defenders here. We have 4 guys there, and plus it's a hard read when you got all these bodies going over there to come back to it late. Okay, so this particular play, it's all about seeing bodies once again. So we're going to run basically a stick concept over here. And on the other side, we're going to run a hook, a curl, and a swing. All right, so seeing bodies. So what am I looking at first as a quarterback? I'm looking at these guys on the outside. Okay, so either one of these concepts, doesn't matter which one. Okay, so whether it's curl, swing, or whether it's flat stick, I need to make sure that the corner is playing off coverage. Okay, not in a position to roll. Because if he rolls down, right, if he rolls down there, now they're in a position to cover this. If I know this corner's playing deep, now this guy is in the bind 2 against 1. Same thing that happens here. If this guy rolls down and is in a position to take away the swing route, okay, then they've got another guy playing this zone that's able to take away the curl route, okay? So I'm looking to see if the corner is off to both sides because that's where it gives me an advantage, okay? So here's the tough thing right here is that this guy could be in off coverage. They could be playing a quarters coverage right here, and we would be fine right there isolating this linebacker and throwing off of him. But the problem is I'm not sure. I'm not sure what this guy's doing over there, and plus with this tight alignment, it could be a read. This guy down here, I know he's playing off coverage. There's no chance that he's coming up to roll from this position. So look to the left first, which is where Dak looks. He looks left. What happens? This outside guy matches down to the flat. This guy's sitting here on the stick. So again, he reads stick. Then he comes back to the inside because it becomes more of a natural progression. Hard to go all the way from your left, all the way back to the wide side on the right. So now, once I choose the left side, I'm reading flat, stick, back to the inside, and you guys will see what happens. Again, he turns back inside, and now we're jamming something in to the inside, just like we did on that 4-strong play. So when I see this particular look and I see this guy down in a tight alignment, say, forget it. We're in an advantage over here to this side. 1, 2, 3. Now, you guys got to understand, yes, you're probably going to say, well, they have 3 defenders here as well. Okay, what we talk about as quarterbacks is I don't count this corner. Why don't you count the corner? Corner's over there. How can you not count it? Oh, I don't count him because we are attacking the underneath zones. So you see, all these guys are within 10 yards of the line of scrimmage. This guy's responsibility is to play this deep area of the field. So I'm not expecting him to come down and drive on these 10-yard plays. I expect him to have to get depth because he's supposed to play deep, and now I get a 3-on-2 to the front side. So if I was coming down to the front side, same idea as the last play, although he's a little bit deeper, I'm reading this guy, okay? That's the only guy. He can take away the curl, can't take away the swing. Can't take away the swing. He takes away the swing, then I have the curl wide open. Here, he's going to fall back and get depth right here. That's my throw. Drop it to my back. Let him go one-on-one with a guy in depth, okay? The other part of this, and why I believe this is a pure progression for Dak, instead of being able to split the field, what I call a full field read where you can choose your side based on what you see, is because you're going to notice the back checks right here, okay? The back checks his responsibility, probably this backer to that backer, but he checks his responsibility. Anytime we have a curl with the flat, I never want this guy checking. I want this guy getting out as fast as he possibly can because that forces this guy to have to make a decision on who he's going to cover. So we do not want him to check on this particular play. So you see, the slower he gets out, the better chance this guy has to cover both of these, right? If I came back to this side and I was reading this defender, he would tell me right now to hit this swing route to Tony Pollard. But the problem is, look, Pollard is not wide enough to be outside leverage of this backer. I want him way out here. I want him to force this guy to have to get width to cover him, which opens up my curl back behind him, and I'm golden. Because we're checking him, and I don't know why we're checking him. Again, we could check him to say because he's last in the progression, but to me, the check is more important to the overall concept of what we're doing than just protecting the quarterback. So here, I want him out. I want him going. And I want, as a quarterback, I want the ability to read both sides, okay? I'd like to split this down the middle and say, Dak, which is the better look side for you? Is it this guy that possibly can come down, or is it knowing this guy's off and I go read my 3-on-2 to this side, get that guy out, and I'll throw hot if I have to. But these pure progressions, this is what happens and why I'm not a big fan of pure progression. Because you always look over here first, so you have no idea what's going on over here. You have no idea what the defense has done, and so now you have to come back and look at wide receivers instead of reading defenses because you can't see both sides of the field. It's impossible. So pick a side and then go from there. Pure progression. I'm turning around going, oh, is 85 open? Oh, yeah, I think maybe he's open, but I haven't verified what's going on. And over here, I have a distinct advantage that I don't want to have to jam it into this guy because I've got 2-on-1 on this guy, and that's where I should be going with the football. But this pure progression gives me a problem. And again, if I didn't explain it, pure progression is saying It doesn't matter what the coverage is. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That we are not reading anything other than, is this guy open at number 1? Is this guy open at number 2? Is this guy open at number 3? And that's our decision instead of allowing the defense to tell us where we're going with the football. Okay, so here's another one, okay? He loves this throw down the middle. Loves this throw down the middle. Play action. Once I see play action and they're closing the middle, okay? They're closing the middle. Putting a guy in the middle of the field again, okay? I want you to see this. When that happens, one-on-one, one-on-one. I got one-on-one on the outside. Once I see that with these, again, you see it. 2 stop routes on the outside. Bingo. I don't want to have to deal with all these bodies in there. They got 4 bodies against 1 body on the inside. I've got one-on-one, both on the outside. Coming off the play action, just mirrored routes, make your play action, get outside and make your throw. Okay? Again, we got it. We throw it in there. We get a big throw. It's great. But again, we're playing with fire. We've already had issues in this game trying to jam it in, hoping that that guy crosses the face of a safety, all that stuff. Make the game easier. Make the game easier. Anytime we have these routes, comebacks on the outside and a middle read, okay? Corners on the outside, middle read. Whatever it is, you got 4 guys inside. We got one-on-one outside. Get outside quarterbacks. Make the game easier. Don't force these things to the inside, even though great play, we're clapping, we're excited. Make the game easier. All right, details. All right, we used to love this play. Called F post, okay? I've heard somebody call it Big Mac. They're going to run a flat here, and then they're going to run the quick post back behind it. So as a quarterback, okay, what we're looking at this right here. As long as he chases the shallow, I'm looking to hit this post right behind it. If this guy holds that off, then I'm right there to my flat and throwing it that way. But a couple little details right here, okay? Details. CD, as you come up and stick this, you've got to get flat and stay underneath your defender. Dak, as you're dropping to hit this, you got to hit your back foot in the ground and get this ball out as soon as he's breaking. My 2 coaching points, okay? So CD comes up, okay? It's all good right here. We're good. Okay, we got to win right here. We've got all kinds of space. The only thing that can stop us from winning on this particular play, the 2 things that can stop us. A, I let this guy run too far before the ball gets in his hands, which allows the corner to make his break and cut this off and make a play on this. That's 1. Second thing, as a receiver, if I fall up the field, I'm making it easier for this guy to come and undercut or make a collision and make this tough. If I get to him and I have this much space and I flatten this, get under control and flatten this, he's got further to go to get to the football, and you're going to see both things happen right here. Okay? See CD? He's falling up the field. Falling up the field and falling into the defender. Watch Dak on the top. Dak, boom, hitch. Don't hitch. Back foot in the ground. Ball's got to be gone right now. Okay? Reading this guy. He's gone. Stick it, and it's got to be out right now. You take a little bit of a hitch. That's all it takes. Okay? Jair Alexander, too good, right? Matches to CD because he goes up the field. Now he's right there. CD's taking 3 or 4 steps before the ball's even getting to him, and we miss in a critical situation of this game. Boom, come flat. Come flat. Come flat. Almost make it like an under. Understand where that guy is, and the bottom line is I just got to beat that guy right there. And we got a chance there. Couple little details affect everything. Okay, and then this is the last one. I know it's been a long tape. A lot of details, a lot of things going on in this game, but here's the last one. Okay, we're in a 4th down situation late in the game. These are the things that I don't understand. As a quarterback, everybody's got their reasons for why they do things. If I'm in, okay, you see it right here, 4th and 3. If I'm in a 4th and 3 situation, I don't want you to run every route at 3 yards, but we don't have bunch of routes that run at 3 yards, but I don't need you to run every single route at 5 yards. But I want you to give me 3 or 4 options. Shouldn't say 3 or 4. Give me 2 to 3 options at least of things that are going to get me the first down. So in this particular play, we're going to run this. We're going to go back to this crazy concept that we've seen. I don't know what they're trying to do. We've seen this a number of times where these two guys are in the exact same spot. Then we're going to run a shallow here. So basically the idea is that there's really only one thing that's getting me the first down. And again, all these throws get me the first down. What I'm saying is that there's one quick option that will get me 4 yards and the first down. All right, so that's what I mean by giving me options. I want to see different things that will allow me to have a bunch of different throws that pick up the first down for me without having to chunk the ball down the field. Okay, whatever that may be, we can develop a lot of different things that will give us options here, right? Something down the middle, okay, boom, boom. And then we do some kind of concept back here with these two guys. Okay, so now I've got all kinds of guys that are going to get me the first down without having to throw the ball down the field. Okay, oh. But here, we're going to run, look at this, everybody down the field, down the field, down the field, down the field. It's not the throw I want to make on 4th down to win a game, is to throw a go throw or have to jam another one into the middle right here. Okay, we've got this shallow coming there. We've got bodies underneath it. This guy coming over with, I mean, it's just not a lot of stuff going on right here. And again, you can come back and say, well, hit that throw right. That is a tough throw right there. I think Dak's really waiting for this shallow to come, hoping that we clear everything out and we hit the shallow. But, I mean, you got all kinds of different things that you could do. What if we just did something like this? Boom, boom, and then the shallow coming over there. And so now we at least get an opportunity to clear out. We get an opportunity at this. Then we get an opportunity at this, overloading that side. Then we get the shallow coming over there. But we get more options than everything down the field. These two guys running into each other here. This guy running to the post. And the only thing is a shallow and a check down backside that really gets us the first down. And thus what happens? We end up getting a sack. We don't have any options. And we end up losing this game in overtime. All right, there you go. I didn't expect that to be 50 minutes of tape, but a whole bunch going on there with the Dallas Cowboys last weekend, and a lot of things to just talk about. And you guys know that I make these study ball tapes not just because I want to come up here and talk about things that I already believe and that I've already seen for 50 minutes. I do it for all of you guys. And for all of you guys, when I say all of you guys, I mean the fans, to be able to learn what's going on instead of just watching a game and getting mad about this or that and saying somebody's terrible. Understand what's going on big picture wise. I do it for coaches that are out there to be able to say, hey, we run similar stuff to this. Let me ask myself some of these questions that Kurt's talking about. What am I teaching? What am I teaching my quarterback? What's the timing and the details of what we're doing? Obviously, I do it for all the quarterbacks out there that are trying to learn the game. To understand big picture wise, what's your plan on every play? What are you thinking on every play? How do you make the game easier? Where do I need to get my eyes? How do I time up my feet with the different throws? And then I always say this, I always hope that it gets back to the actual teams that I'm talking about, because I believe the only way for us to learn as players, coaches, whomever that is to challenge everything that we're doing, challenge the details of our plays. Challenge what we're asking our quarterback to do. Challenge how we're teaching our quarterbacks to see the field. Challenge the pure progression versus the half field or full field read type stuff. Challenge everything so we can get better. I'm not going to sit here and say that everything I'm saying is right. I'm not in these rooms with these quarterbacks and these coaches to know exactly what's being taught and what they're being told or why they're doing the details the way they are. All I know is how I would do it and what I think makes it better. And I hope what you know when you watch these study balls is always have a reason. always have a reason why I teach or say the things that I say. And it comes from me playing the game and how I saw the game and what helped me to process the game quicker and make good decisions with the ball in my hands. And so hopefully, sit down in between a couple meals and watch this 50-minute video, but we'll give you, again, more insight into what went on last week with Cowboys against the Packers, where they're doing things well. Dak obviously still making a lot of great throws, but also where he had a bit of an off night, whether it was decision making or missing some throws that he normally makes.